Hell yeah. All right. So
Ask
then,
away, man. What you want to know about me?
yeah. No, well, I,
First of all,
I've been, yeah.
how you been, man? How have you been? How are things?
I'm fucking happy, bro.
Because I know you've been
I'm happy.
very busy lately, and
Insanely
it's
busy.
and that's great.
As
It's great.
hold
Keeps you
on.
busy.
But I've never not been busy though.
That's true, though. That's true.
Fortunately.
Fortunately, you have
Fortunately.
not been busy,
Yeah.
but I
Lately it
can.
seemed a little
Lately,
bit
it
crazier.
seems like a little bit out of hand. Where
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I think part of that is because now I'm able to work a lot faster.
yeah.
So I'm able to push out uh more vehicles,
Hmm.
but I'm still putting in the same hours. Does that make sense? So it's like if before, let's say, just to put a number on it, if before I could push out a car in 20 working hours, right?
Yeah.
And now I can do in 15, do it in 15, I'm going to do, in 30 hours I'm going to do two cars
Hmm.
instead of doing 15 and taking 5 off.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, fuck it. Okay, I can do it in this much, but that's going to change.
Mm.
That's going to change here very soon. I was planning on changing it starting the year, but I'm still carrying on some projects from last year.
You're trying to get out of
So yeah, so come November, I'm sorry, the end of fucking November, bro.
November. I was like,
Right.
dang.
Come the end of January,
Hmm.
um, I'll be on track. Um, and that's why I think that's what makes me the happiest. It's just I've been working on this project, for it's gonna be 3 years now in March,
Hmm.
and I'm finally getting to see, like, reaping the
Fruit
yes,
of your labor.
correct. So that's
Getcha.
why
I
I'm like
getcha.
really fucking happy, bro, because uh, it's been a fucking ride, to say the least, and
It's been a ride, man.
there's been a lot of the experience overall has just been fucking great, and I'm
Hmm.
grateful with every single person that has been a part of it, even those that are not a part of it anymore,
Yeah.
or that were, like, played some sort of role for just a little small bit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fucking
Of
grateful
course.
for all that. So I'm happy, bro. To the straight up, I'm happy. Like, I can't fucking complain. I can't.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah.
good.
What about yourself? How you doing, man? You just got your car wrapped. How does that feel? Finally, we fucking
It's
that purple's
a
been sitting there for a good while.
it's a mixture. It's a mixture of different emotions, man. Like seeing the car, obviously, like how Chris says, just the color change
Yeah.
really makes an impact on the car itself, man, on the person itself.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
if I'm being honest, like going from the blue, from originally when we first wrapped the car blue, the space blue, I was really set on the purple,
Yeah.
and we were ready to go. And then you switched it up on me last minute, like, hey, these colors just came out. You showed me that the alien suit, the Goldzilla, and the satin orange, the
Orange
spritz,
spritz,
the
yeah.
orange spritz that we did. And yeah, I mean, I trusted you. I took your word for it because it looked great. And it's just those things where, like, if I don't see it in person, it makes me doubt,
Yeah, of
like, in the
course.
sense that, like, how good does it really look, But obviously, you're an expert in your own craft. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I trusted you with that. And that's why we did the orange. And honestly, um, between the orange and this color now, like, it's in between, bro. I
It's
like
tough.
both. It's tough. It's tough to decide because that glossy effect, that nice flake that it
The
does have,
high metallic,
that high
very high
metallic
metallic.
from this company is just something else, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say, honestly, for me, I like the purple better than the orange. The orange was fucking hard.
the orange, dude. It's just that I've never had, like, I mean, from the blue, it was obviously a glossy, high metallic color.
Yeah.
Going to this orange, that satin material, that satin effect. you could appreciate better on the angles, the curves to it. You know.
Give me a second. Give
Yeah,
me a
yeah.
second. All right, I got some drinks, bro. If you want a beer, let me know.
I'll take one, man.
Have some.
There's never a wrong time for Modelo time.
It's fucking Modelo time.
It's Modelo time, bro.
It's Modelo time, fool. Hell yeah. Here you go, brother.
W.
All right. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The orange, you get
different.
to affect you get to see the body lines a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to me, I think if they made this purple in a satin finish,
Definitely.
oh, that shit would fucking go hard.
Definitely.
As fuck.
Even the blue. When I told you that space
that
blue, dude,
yeah,
if they would have had that in a satin effect, I would have jumped on that ASAP. ASAP. Even Chris probably, now that he's really like in love with the blue, like I think he would have appreciated that a little bit different. But it's good, man. Funny enough, from the previous wraps to this purple one, I tend to take criticism from other people, like how they feel about it. Doesn't basically impact me in the sense that, you know, like, oh, like if a certain person doesn't like it, like I'm gonna feel bad about it. I'll be like, oh, like, damn, I should have gotten something. No, fuck no. I mean, it is my own thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
Regardless of what people think, if they like the color, they don't. I mean, that's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, but one person that I do take their comments into consideration is my dad.
Okay.
Mainly because my dad's very old school.
I was about to say that your dad's old school as fuck.
He's old school as hell, man. I love him, but when it comes to sometimes some of the comments that he has given me, are rough. It's rough, man, and I take that to heart sometimes because it's like he'll tell me straight up, like either I'm fucking up or he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, like the blue. When I first got the blue, and I first took the car home the next morning, I got woken up to my dad pretty much just telling me, "What the fuck did you do to the car?" I'm being straight up, man. Like that was the first thing I woke up to the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like he's like, why did you trap it like that color? Like no, like he did not approve, man. He was like, "I love the red better. Like you should have left it alone." And I was telling him like that, like it's a sponsorship thing, like it's something with the company that I'm working with you and this and that. Like I told him like trying to kind of because to him it's just all about like he'll trickle it down to basically the money. And he's like, well, how much did you spend and this and that, like that. Like I got it for a good price. You need to understand, like, you know, and a lot of people need to understand that the prices obviously fluctuate wherever you are.
Of course.
For the price that you give, it's very different to what the price that somebody else is going to get up there. Houston, Dallas, you know, you name it, out of state.
Yeah. Even here,
right? But like my dad was just like, no, like this and that. He didn't approve, man. He didn't approve at first, and that kind of did bum me out at first.
Yeah,
I was just like, fuck, man. And the thing is, I love the blue, man. That was a very, very nice blue. But hearing my dad say that did kind of hit me because I was like, damn, dude, like now I'm gonna be driving around with this color that I like, but my dad doesn't approve, and it just made me feel like shitty to an extent. But funny enough, like what was it? Maybe a few days later, with my younger brother, he was outside. He came down to visit, saw the color, and he's like, "Dude, this is a nice fucking color."
With this one, the purple one?
No, the blue.
Oh, the blue,
originally.
Okay.
And my dad was outside with him, and then he finally, I guess, he saw that flake from the sunlight hitting it, and he walked around, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? Never mind. It's a nice color.
Yeah,
cool. It's not my choice." He told me flat out, it's not my preference. He's like, but it's a nice blue. It's a nice blue. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, I got his approval. The orange, when I got the orange done, he was like, he liked it, but he's like, like he wasn't sure what it was, that he just couldn't like appreciate it to an extent
Yeah.
for some reason. But he was like, no, it's not bad. But he, like, I told him like, no, because I got this rap. This is what I was doing, and he's like, well, okay, I mean, it's not bad, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice. I like the orange. He likes orange. That's one of his favorite colors, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he was more okay with that. This one, from the time that you were wrapping the car and stuff, and pretty much I was on break right from work. My dad was just like, "Where's your car? Where's your car?" And I don't get scared, but I get like should I really tell him that I'm getting wrapped again?
Yeah.
Because
Because you already know what's gonna
because I
happen.
already know. I know where he's coming from, and I
Yeah.
know what he's gonna tell me, and that's fine. But it's like really, Dad, like like it's my own thing. Like let me do my thing. Like at the end of the day, um, there's a reason for it,
Yeah.
right? And so at one point, I pretty much just told him it's getting wrapped. I'm testing out some new material or whatever. And he was skeptical, but he's like, okay, here we go again. Because I mean, all right, you know what you're doing. And sure enough, I mean, I picked up the card, got the purple done, took it home. The next morning, man, I caught him. I woke up and I heard him. He opened the door and he walked outside. Sun was hitting the car. It was nice and fresh.
Oh hell yeah.
So he was looking at the car on his own. He didn't make a comment, but I was looking at him through the window.
Yeah.
And I was just looking outside. I was like, oh, what is he gonna say, man? And he walked around the whole car, man, admiring it. And he's like, that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, nothing. Never brought it up though until what was it, like a few days ago? I want to say Wednesday. Today's Sunday. A couple of days ago, we were eating. We were having lunch at home with my mom and dad, and then he made a comment. He's like, sí, el mamalón. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, no, está bonito el color. Está mamalón.
Oh yeah.
He approved that one.
Oh
He
shit.
liked it, man. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you're not bullshitting me? And he's like, no, no, mijo, like, that's a nice color.
I
He's
bet
like,
that felt good, huh?
yeah. I was like, finally, like,
Yeah.
finally you approve of something that
Yeah,
that
of
I
course.
that I basically chose, and something that that he didn't mind seeing on a car. Like, cause him, when it comes to colors on vehicles, he's very old school, like just keeping it traditional black, your silver, um, your typical red and blue here and there, depending.
Yeah.
But now that we see a lot of different factory colors coming out with different companies, um, it's a little hard for my dad to appreciate some colors, because he's like, I don't know, man, like that looks so weird, or I don't like that.
Yeah.
But even recently, that we went to go get him a new truck, and he was like looking at a certain color, um, from Ford, and he didn't approve. He's like, no, man, I can't do that color. It had everything that he needed, right, truck wise, but he just didn't go with it because of the color. He's like, I can't be driving around in that color. It was
Yeah.
like a very kind of like similar to that gray, like a Nardo gray kind of like that they
Oh
have,
yeah.
but it was very like dark. Like it was more bland than
Yeah.
anything.
It's
And
like it's a very dark
and he
gray.
just didn't like it. So we ended up like going for another color. He ended up deciding on that nice like little crimson red kind of,
Yeah.
and it's nice, man. He was like, this, I loved it. And my mom was very happy with that. So that was the case. But honestly, like from going from the blue to the orange, now the purple, um, each one had its own, I guess, touch.
Well, look, I think that you
Like,
have a nice car.
yeah,
So it's kind of like I tell people all the time, like, oh, what's gonna look? I want something that's gonna look good.
mm-hmm.
They're like, well, for something to look good, you have to have a good looking car.
Yeah.
It's
You
kind
can't
of
just you can't
hard
just throw any color on any car. It's not.
that too, but there are some cars that you can throw any color at it and it'll
Yeah,
still look good.
of course.
I think, in my opinion, the Charger is one of them for sure. Uh, cars like Corvettes,
Yeah.
right? Corvettes just look fucking good.
Yeah. They
You
look
can put
aggressive
you
regardless
can
of the
put
color.
a fucking brown on that thing and
Mm-hmm.
it'll look good. And even they came out with on the CH with that like metallic bronze
Yeah, it was
looking
like that Zeus, that chocolate Zeus color.
bro, that shit
Very, very, very
looks fucking
nice.
nice.
Different. Very
So
different.
I mean, it's hard. Now in my opinion, there are some colors that are better paired with some cars,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Chargers are very universal. Like they'll take anything. And
Yeah.
I think I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's like the most customizable car there is out there. Like you
Yes.
see them being customized
Mm-hmm.
all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Uh I've seen like, cause I mean I've gone out to Dallas and stuff for some events, and there are some Chargers out there, man, that I've seen some certain colors, certain colorways that they do, certain pattern.
Yeah.
Very different.
You going to the Mopar Heaven event?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
be out there. I signed up for the competition.
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
gonna enter the competition this year.
Badass.
Because I think I'm ready. I think this year I have a chance. I think I have a decent chance to win something. I feel like my car, it ain't the best. I
Bro,
know there are some cars out there that
oh,
are
of course,
very
but
crazy, but overall, from what I've been there the last 3-4 years. I didn't go last year because of my incident, but
yeah,
last year, now that they switched over to Bailey's with the Bailey's High Performance with Mopar Heaven, it's great, man. I'm looking forward to this one coming up in March. And I already pretty much, when tickets went on sale back in, what was it, like November, October, I pretty much purchased everything. I got everything, the laps, the burnout competition, the car show. So
hell
I got a
yeah,
full experience. I'm gonna get the full thing again because
fuck
I
yeah,
haven't been there in a year. So it's time. I got a couple people that wanna get together up there and collab, and I'm looking forward to showcasing that purple wrap because I know
hell
it's
yeah,
gonna catch a lot of attention, especially with the little touches that you added.
yeah,
When I told you, hey, can you kind of do this on the side cover on the
yeah,
doors, and you just told me, trust me, I got you.
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let him cook. Like
Well, as
I'll
soon
I'll
as you
let you do
said
your
that,
thing.
as soon as you said you wanted to wrap it, I was like, the first thing I thought is like, oh, I already know what I'm putting on there,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna be black.
And it's weird because I had one or two friends of mine that when they first saw it, they were like, dude, that throws it off so much for me. And I'm like, really? I like it because
Yeah,
it's something different. You don't
it's
see
different,
that out there, and
exactly.
it's visible. Like the first thing you're gonna see, obviously, you're gonna see the color, but then you're gonna see
Yeah,
that little like cartoon, that little like effect, and you're like, what is that? I'm like,
yeah,
well, that's actually a rap from the supposed to be from the collaborator of whoever created this rap color
yeah,
of a certain color, right? And they're like, oh, it's like their signature in a sense,
yeah,
right? And they're like, I don't know, man. Some of them were like, I don't know, dude. It's like your car looks so good, and then they see that and they're like, I don't know, man. I don't. It's not for me. But I was like, well, I like it.
yeah,
That especially that you did the 392 badges with the thing in there.
yeah.
That's a nice touch to it, dude. It's
Hell
it's
yeah,
very different. And now once I get those other wheels and I'm gonna change up the caliper color as well soon,
hell yeah,
I think it's gonna complement everything pretty well.
fuck
And I'm
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm honestly very excited for the show coming soon. That's probably gonna be one of the better whams I'm gonna have this time
yeah,
around. Because being the first year that I went, it was very different. I just went with the Charger stock red color,
yeah,
not much, but I went out there to see.
yeah.
It
You
was a
were a
good. It
spectator.
was a good. I was a spectator. It was a good first experience. Now that I got to see, like it made me realize, like oh, I ain't shit. Like I
A
got
lot
work
of
to do.
work to
I got
do.
a lot of work to
Yeah,
do,
of
man.
course.
To where
It
then I
put
did
your
the blue.
feet back on the fucking ground.
Oh no, big
Like
time, dude. It
you
made me
like
retract and go back to step one and be like, all right, where do I start?
hell yeah,
And then when we did the blue and I took the blue out there, yeah, I had quite a bit of people like turning heads. They're like, dude, what is this color?
yeah,
And I was like, it's that gloss metallic space blue that just came out from Evolve. And they're like, dude, this is fucking nice.
yeah,
There's a YouTube video. There's some guy skank something, and he made a comment. He's like, yeah, you don't get this in commissary. You know what I'm saying? Like this color is just too nice, and people were like very surprised that they see the blue, and yes, it resembled a little bit to that factory, the frostbite color,
Yeah.
but at night and even the day when the sunlight hit, a lot of people were like, "Oh, like that's very different."
It's confused. It can be easily confused if
Hmm.
you're not in the car environment. I
Yeah,
think,
if you
and
don't
especially
know,
if you don't know
no,
Mopar.
and it's happened, man. Even
Yeah.
here locally, I used when I first got the blue done, I went to some of the Chick-fil-A shows that they used to host back in the day on Saturdays. And I remember, man, I had some of these older folk just come up to me like, "Hey, man, that's a nice color, man. Is that paint?" And I'm like, "No, dude, that's
Yeah.
a wrap."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What? Like this looks like paint?" And I was like, "No, man, I can show you." I opened the door, they see the red, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, wow!"
Yeah.
Like
It's
yeah,
because
dude,
that color had a lot. That wrap had a lot
yeah,
of depth. Is what it
yeah,
is. So
big time.
it had. That's one of the reasons I like Evolve so much is that their colors are. I mean, you have other companies that have like a very good finish, like a
Yeah,
ultra glossy finish, whatever,
hmm,
which Evolve also offers, but maybe not to the extent of those other companies.
yeah,
But the one thing that no other company has been able to replicate, at least from what I've seen, is how much depth they put into
yeah,
their colors. It's
yeah.
fucking crazy.
And that's the
So
thing, man. It's like I get asked a lot, man. I get questioned a lot when I do these colors because they think, oh, it's expensive, and it's like, well, it can be,
yeah,
right? But it just depends on what you're feeling because obviously you want to go with the higher quality, the higher depth.
yeah,
You're gonna pay a little bit, but if you're not, I mean, there's other colors out there that obviously you can settle for that can give you that depth, but not to that extent. And you're right, like no, I've seen so many other companies, so many other wraps. Um, Evolve is my favorite, hands down.
yeah.
APA is just it's different.
It is.
It's not something that you know you can't just pick up on the fly. Like you really got to look into it because the depth behind the color is
Yeah,
what's really going to show on any vehicle that you obviously wrap.
yeah,
So no, man. I mean, honestly, from all three, like I'm starting to lean more towards the purple being my favorite.
yeah.
Favorite hands down so far has been the blue.
The blue.
The orange was nice. I really liked it, man.
Yeah,
That was a very different, I guess, depth when it came to like the lines, like you said, that you can appreciate
yeah,
the lines and all that. But overall, like the blue was just something that I liked. I enjoyed. That was my
yeah,
favorite. I like blue. I'm a very big fan of the blue color. Um, so that was a favorite, and also because of the fact that back in the day, so like not a lot of people know this, right? But so like Jesse,
hmm,
back in the STS days, when you first showed me that rap, and I took the sample, I took it home, right,
yeah,
and I showed him, and he like saw it, and he's like, "Dude, this is fucking awesome, dude! Like, yes, like jump on it, like you have to do that." And so I had told him, "Yeah, man, I promise, I will. Like, that's something I'm gonna do. Like, that's something that I really liked." And he's like, "Bro, if you don't jump on it, I'll jump on it with my Corvette that he had at the time."
hmm,
And honestly, like when I threw on the blue, that I threw on that blue because not only did I like it, but also because of the remembrance of him.
yeah,
I was like, you know what, for him, like I'm gonna throw that on. That was something that he really liked and something that I can kind of have around for a bit.
yeah,
And it was great. Can't complain on that blue, man. That blue was something different. I wish they could come out with something like that similar again,
yeah.
but we'll see. Other than that, I mean, I don't know, man. Like we'll see what's next. Now
Yeah.
that we got that purple on, who knows? Who knows what's next, man? I don't know what other colors.
Well, I mean, their color options are obviously
Endless.
endless. And as things evolve, and time goes on, there's gonna be more options. Now we're seeing some companies come out with like ultra gloss material
Mm-hmm.
when they had like just a regular gloss.
Yeah.
Um, man, colors right now. I'm seeing a trend. I've been noticing a trend for a good while, and I've been pretty good about noticing trends.
Mhm.
and getting on top of them. And right now, I think the solid soft colors, like the pastels,
Yeah.
art is really fucking hitting. It's been hitting for a good while now, and it's like the way to go if you want something that's going to be safe,
Yeah.
like something that you're guaranteed is going to hit. And you can see a lot of these companies doing it as well. And sometimes, like also the metallics, but like a really subtle metallic, not
Yeah.
like a high metallic. Like high metallic in the sense that it's like there is a lot of material there, but it usually like the same tone. So like, you know,
Mhm.
what I mean is they're not going so much for the color shift look anymore. It's
Yeah.
more like, okay, we're gonna do a
Yeah.
blue with blue metallic flake, like but a different shade of
Mhm.
metallic flake on it, and that's really where the market is going now, and you
Yeah.
can see it a lot with. I think lately Porsche has been the one that's setting the trend on colors, man.
Yeah.
They've been coming out with some wild colors um, that that are immediately replicated in the vinyl industry.
Yes. Big time.
Um, Porsche and probably Mercedes is the other one. BMW, they fucking bro, they come out with some colors that
That was
it's like
technically that the reason why that I really enjoyed that purple at first was because of the that what was it called, Twilight Purple from BMW. It's
yeah,
that color that was very nice, man. And I was just like, I want something like that, something similar.
yeah,
And I remember coming to you and be like, I showed you, I was like, this is what I'm looking for, man. What's out there? And I remember you brought it up and like, well, you got this, you got this. He's like, but I think the best one would probably be either this one. I think you had told me it was like a berry blue, or going with that evolve the
yeah.
voodoo purple. And I was just like, I like this better.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there was two purples that I thought at the moment I thought were the best purples on the market,
Mm-hmm.
which was the voodoo purple, and the other one was I think it's called hypnotic purple from KPMF.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, they're very similar
Yeah.
because they have like a reddish tone in their flake,
Yep.
but the one from Evolve is more a little bit more subtle,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. I
Yeah.
like for things to be like not so aggressive, you
Yeah.
know, like fucking kind of
No,
because
it's
it's like,
nice,
oh
dude.
shit, what the fuck? Like I didn't
Yeah.
think it was gonna look like that, you
Yeah, for
know?
sure. Like when the sun hits it, dude, like you see that nice flake to it and you see that little like tone, the red tone that you were talking about,
Yeah,
and it gives it depth, but it's nothing crazy how you would see like in another wrap that basically transcends colors, and you'll
yeah,
see you have to get that full effect in order to appreciate it.
exactly.
Um, but this one, dude, I like it. Right now, I was basically getting pictures done with Johnny, and I was basically seeing it in the environment, the scene. It was different, man. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, this is actually is nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
your car, bro, your car has come. You've invested a lot on your car, like,
Yeah.
and it's the way you've done things. I think is the best way anyone can go about um transforming their vehicle, and it's like
Yeah.
slow progress, but progress nonetheless.
Yeah.
You started like
I've had,
very little things here and there, and now
mhm,
you look at a car that can easily be, obviously you need to get them wheels fixed, right?
yeah.
But if those, let's say those wheels were at 100%, you're looking at a car that can be in front of a magazine easy,
Hmm.
like straight up. And you look at that same car fucking 3 years ago.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Hell no. That's
you've
like,
come a long way, man, and
no,
you've done things the
it
right
was
way.
it was different, man. Because for a while, um, starting off in the car scene, right, doing adding little mods here and there, cosmetics, right, more externally more than anything, like the splitter, the side skirts. It's little touches that to a lot of it's not expensive, but when you put it all together, it does add up. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, why don't you add this and this and that?" And it's like, well, I mean, I could, but
Yeah.
like that's not for right now. Like I'd
Well,
rather
expensive, cheap and expensive,
cheap and expensive.
like how much it costs, right? is different than if it's affordable or not.
Yeah.
And then you have to throw in the factor of, is it wise or not to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
A lot of the times, man, that when I started like adding stuff to the car was not more so that it was expensive. It was just that at the time, like when I first got my car, right, like I worked at DHR. I was
Yeah.
making only like $16 the hour.
Yeah.
I could still afford my car, but these little extra things, I was just like, I'm gonna take a little bit, maybe later. It's not right now.
Yeah.
Transitioning to the job that I have now, making more than double what I was doing. Oh yeah, like now I started to splurge a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what? Now I think it's time to add on these things that can really change the car the way it looks.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think from everything, my first major big purchase that I really dumped on was probably the carbon hood.
I was gonna say
That
that
carbon
hood.
hood was kind of like the stepping stone of me starting to push more into what I had on the car. Because I had the side skirt and stuff, but it wasn't enough. Like it's like it needs
Yeah.
more. The wheels was mainly the first purchase that I did on the car originally, like a year in, and it was nice, but it's like
Hold on, the hood was more expensive than the wheels?
mm,
Nah, there's no way.
nah, not at all. Like
There's no
technically the
way.
wheels overall, but because technically when I got the wheels, I got the full thing, tires and wheels, so it was all
Yeah.
in. Wheels themselves though, those Ferradas that I have were about, what was it, like 2400 at the time.
Yeah. Hold up,
Um,
how much was the fucking hood?
the hood was like about a good 17.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
I got it.
that's what I figured.
I got it for a little bit less though. I got it for like 14.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
that's
say
the
probably like
second.
around 15 to 2,000 is what I would
Yeah,
say.
and that's more or less what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But I was able to get it for like 14
Yeah.
shipped. Um, thanks to someone plug, carbon plug. But that's technically my second one because the
Oh
first
yeah, I
one,
remember that. I
remember
remember
that
that whole.
the
Oh man,
first
that shit
one, the
was.
first one happened that it just
Yeah,
happened
fuck,
to have a
bro.
situation
No, no,
and
no.
it flew out.
You know what? I would like for you to. I would like for you to talk about it
Talk about
because
that.
I feel that at the end of the day they did you right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and bro, that's so like commendable. Like
yeah.
that
No,
is
big time,
fucking.
man.
That's the
It's
way I think people should act. So
for sure.
tell us about that. Tell them about that. I know what
So,
it is.
so basically, when I first got the carbon hood, right, I only had, if anything, maybe what was it, like 2 months in with it. Um, so what happened was I took it to this shop.
No, tell who it is, bro, because they
Oh
did you right.
no, but you know what? Yeah, like they know my one of my sponsors, Junior Leds, Uriel, real big, real cool guy. I've known that guy for years. Um, Even before, like I was in the car scene and stuff. All of our vehicles, our trucks, our cars. My brother's truck, his big ass, because he was a truck driver. His big trucks that he had, working.
Yeah,
He all took him there with him. We always had it there with him. Even the Razor, all the LEDs, everything. Light work when it came to lights, it was all him.
yeah.
And
Honestly, he's the only person I
and
recommend.
he's honestly the only person that I can tell you straight up that knows his stuff, and there's a reason why even the city of McAllen, the city of Far, they take their work trucks to him because he's gonna install the work. He knows and he can get those done quick.
Yeah,
Um, Besides the quality, the fact that over time that he made his own headlight brand,
mm-hmm.
and it's commendable to him because when that situation happened was I took him the car to get a headlight situation fixed with LED. Nothing major. But he's always responsive. Now, yeah, tráemelo carnal, no pasa nada. Like, bring it in at this time. We'll get you fitted in right away.
Yeah,
Cool. I remember, man, I just brought it in, dropped off the car. I was inside, I was waiting. Or I think I got picked up and I left. I left to go do some errands. Came back, picked up the car. But Uriel Junior Les didn't work on it. He was busy, so he had one of the other guys, the helpers,
yeah,
basically work on it because it was something that he could have done. But I guess the guy was so new that he wasn't fully aware of how the carbon hood is so light that you actually have to like sit it down in order
Yeah.
for it to latch correctly. And I remember, man, like I noticed that that's because I walked in front of the car and I looked at it and everything looked good to me. I couldn't tell because I was still so new to the hood at the time.
Yeah.
And then, what was it, man? That day was very windy. It was very
Yeah.
windy. It was like a storm that was coming in, but it wasn't raining. It was just very windy. Um, Took it down like maybe 5 minutes down the road from the shop. I was basically against the wind. And I remember just taking off, man. Not even like going at 15, 20 miles. I didn't even hit that. And then the hood just popped open, latched everything, and just bent over and hit the top of the roof of the car. Surprisingly, my windshield did not crack. I was very
What's
surprised
carbon
about that.
fiber, man?
Was yeah,
Light.
but even
No, no,
then,
no.
bro, imagine
Yeah, I
like
know, I
imagine
know.
the like regardless of how light it is, just
Yeah.
the smack of the wind with it. Like I really thought, oh shit, like my windshield
Yeah,
fucked
of
up.
course.
Nothing. It was just a minor dent on the top of the roof, but it wasn't anything crazy. But sure enough, the hood itself cracked, fucked
Yeah.
up, like it
Broke.
just messed up, man. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? I remember at the time, as soon as that happened, I pulled over. I was by the airport. Um, I called him up. I was like, hey man, like we need to talk. Cause he's like, what's up? ¿Qué pasó? And I told him like, hey bro, like so it turns out like I think the new guy or whatever that worked on my car, like I don't think he latched my hood properly because I literally just drove off. I'm not even a couple minutes down from your shop, and it just popped open, and it just like it took a shit. Like my hood's fucked,
Yeah.
and
Fuck.
he's like, "Oh damn!" Like, and I sent him videos and pictures, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Look, let me look it over. Let me check out the cameras because he has cameras there to work."
Yeah.
And sure enough, he checked it out, and he's like, "Pues carnal se ve like where the guy like closed it." He's like, "But I cannot verify that he properly like latched it. Like he's like, I can't tell."
Yeah.
He's like, but and the thing is that he recognized that the guy was what was it, maybe a couple days working in there. Like he was brand new.
Yeah.
So I didn't blame him as much, but I told him like, well man, like that shit did kind of cost me a bit. So what can be done? Like what can you help me out here or something? And the fact that that's the thing about him that he's a business person, but he's still human at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
know, situations happen. And
Of course.
the fact that I've known him for so long, that I've taken him business, I've had so many people go to him because of me. I felt like he basically took that into consideration. You know what? Let me help him out regardless at the end of the day because he's brought me so much business. It's only
Yeah.
right that I can do that for him. And he told me, he's
Right.
like, pues let me know, man. Mándame invoice cuánto cuesta. Like, let me know how much it was, and I can't pay you all up front. He's like, but I'll give you like a part, like half or a part of it up front, and then I'll give you the other like at the end of the month. He's
Yeah.
like, because I'm basically gonna deduct from the other guy. He's like, but I'll do right. Like, I'm gonna basically make sure that you get your other one and you get a new one, and we'll rectify the situation. And so he did, man. He did. He ended up basically giving me the money. That other hood, I basically had it there at home, pretty much just there. And I ended up reaching out to the guy that I got the hood originally from, and I told him, like, "Hey man, is there any way I can get another one? Because this happened." I asked first, "Is it fixable? Because if it's fixable, I'll fix it. But if it's not, like, I just need a new one."
Yeah.
So he told me, "No, bro, no, like, yeah, like that's fucked. Like, it's cracked. Like, there's nothing you can do. I don't recommend fixing it because it's not going to be the same." He's like, "Just get a new one."
Yeah.
And so I did. I placed the order for a new one, got it. Now this other one, this new one that I got now after, sure enough, man, the first thing I did was buy hood pins. I am not running that risk no
Hell
more
yeah.
because I learned it from the first time, and it's like, you know what? I know I can drive pretty crazy sometimes, and it's like I am not trying to be driving, you know, unnecessary speeds and
Yeah.
then experiencing that again at that speed. No, that's not gonna
Hell
happen.
nah. Hell
No.
nah.
So I basically took the hood to get hood pins done, installed, and everything that got done. It's been good since, man. Honestly, to a lot of people out there, man, that are here locally, like if y'all need any work when it comes to LEDs, light for the vehicles, I
Hell
really
yeah.
recommend Uriel, Junior LEDs. That's my go-to guy. He's always done a solid job, and the fact that he does take his customer service very
Yeah.
seriously, he
Hell
does he
yeah,
does do
bro.
right, and he offers obviously, warranty and stuff. So when I've had to take him something later on in the road, he'll check and he's like, "No, man," he's like, "Don't worry about it. And
Yeah.
I've always told him like how much do I owe you, and he's like, don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you, man, because you brought so much business to me lately. Like, you're good. Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah.
on me. That's cool. I appreciate that, man. And honestly, I don't get that a lot here. It's kind of hard to find that with people here that will do right,
Yeah.
because I get it. It's a business at the end of the day, but it's like
Well, it's there should be ethics in business,
exactly.
and there I think the situation there can like go either way,
Mm-hmm.
considering the fact that you took it,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of people I think would find a reason, be like, nah, bro, how do I know you didn't stop at a gas station and then you
Exactly, bro.
whatever? You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that could happen that
Yeah,
people can just be skeptical about it, or they can just be like, well, if you don't have proof that you didn't stop and open it up and close it back up, like,
yeah.
then
And I
I'm not.
didn't.
And but what I'm saying is they could say that
Yeah,
and not be wrong at the same
correct.
time. At the same time, so the fact that he just took care of it that way, bro, that's like my hats off to him, like straight
Yeah.
up, because
No,
that's the way it should be, like
yeah,
straight up.
he didn't question me. Like, he didn't ask me like, but what happened? Like, where were you? Like, and I told him, no, man. Like, I mean, I literally just left your shop. I'm a
Yeah,
couple minutes down the road. I'm just driving home.
yeah,
Yes, it's windy, and I get it. It's a lot of wind. He's like, but it shouldn't have been to that extent to where that thing just popped out of nowhere, man.
yeah,
It didn't add up. I was like, there's no way, because I even told him like, not even what was it, like a day or two prior. I told him, hey, man, I literally was driving like, and I'm just putting it out there. I was driving like at 100 miles an hour
yeah,
going home. This was a couple of days prior to that situation. I told him that doesn't add up, man, because there's no way. How is it possible that I'm going 100 miles an hour and that thing never popped up?
yeah,
And then out of the blue, the one day that I just brought it to you, like as soon as I left, that happened. Like it
yeah,
was just weird. Like, I'll
yeah,
own
bro.
up to it if I basically was hitting those high speeds and
Yeah, of
it
course,
popped out. Obviously, that's it, and because of the
it's
fact
a
that
risk.
it's a risk, and it does specify when you buy a carbon hood, it's recommended to get hood pins. It's not mandatory, but people will tell you it's recommended. Why? Because when you reach those high speeds, there is a risk that it could latch off.
Yeah, well, it'll break off of the hook. That's what it
And
is.
but I wasn't, I was just driving home.
Yeah,
But that happened, and that was that.
that's crazy, bro.
But
That's
honestly, hats off to him, man. Big respect to him for taking care of it and doing that and going out of his way. It's a good businessman.
hell yeah,
Yeah,
bro. That's I mean, like I said, that's the way that it should be, and um, like I said, I'm glad you got taken care of,
yeah,
and that's the way that he does his business, because at the end of the day, that's what it should be, and that's what I think. People like that, they don't really have to worry so much about going through those situations,
yeah,
because that business is gonna keep coming.
yeah,
It's gonna keep, and it's like last time I was talking to Chris, I told him, bro, I've lost so much money doing this to ensure that people get done right at the end of the
yeah.
day, and that people are taken care of.
Hmm.
And that's maybe I had something here or there that has slipped through the cracks or whatnot, but I can guarantee you one thing: I've never done it intentionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, we're
I'm
all
not
human. It
perfect,
happens. It's not perfect. I don't got.
but I've never like intentionally fucked anybody over. I'll
Of
never do
course.
that. Like, that's to me, it's like, if that's what I'm doing this for, then I'm just not gonna do it,
Yeah,
because it's not right,
of
in
course.
my eyes. So that's badass, bro. That's good that you got taken care of that way. Shit, I had well, you remember the whole situation with Chris's car,
Yeah, man.
bro.
That was
That was one straight up, bro.
honestly, dude. That to me was like, bro. Like, I was like, oh
I've
man.
been in some situations, man. Like, situations. I've uh, from being in the military, and or just from where I grew up.
Hmm.
Fucking in some situations, man, and that one made me feel something that I had never felt before, bro. I was
Yeah,
like, I
I
was
still remember, man.
embarrassed.
Yeah,
I was embarrassed. I felt, uh, fucking, I don't know. It was just, it's hard to describe the feeling, but
I
it
can't.
was horrible. It was horrible. And like, just the whole situation was fucking crazy. I, bro, I'm so thankful that Chris is the way that he is.
Yeah.
And for that same reason, like, not only because of what he's been able to do for me, but just because of the way that he has been with me. um like, that's why I won't fucking, I'll do whatever. Like, if he asks me for something, I would try and make sure that I can get it done,
Yeah.
you know. And I've had people ask me, like, why does Whipple Chris get special treatment? Well, motherfucker, you ain't done for me what he's done for me.
Of course.
You know, it's like, you don't know why. I'm not gonna sit here and explain to you why,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't feel that you know,
You're not gonna understand at the end of the day. Some people are just not gonna
exactly.
understand. They just see it as favoritism to an
Yeah,
extent, and it's
exactly.
like not at all.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, but
It is. No, and I'll say it straight
but
up.
there's
It
a reason
is.
for it.
But
Obviously,
exactly,
there's a reason
there's
for
a
it.
reason for
There's
it.
a reason why
Hell yeah,
he gets treated or he gets the treatment that he gets
yeah,
because, and we know. I mean, I know I've known Chris already. I've had the pleasure of knowing him for what, like the last 3 years already, and he's a real genuine down to earth guy. I know
yeah, man.
that
Straight
he will
up.
have my back when I need him, just like I've had his back. Um, because he knows like it's not something that he would have wanted to happen. It just shit
Yeah,
happens, right?
yeah.
In that situation that happened back in the day, but he was understanding. He's like, it's cool. Y'all talked it out. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, there's a reason for it, and
It was a horrible first impression.
for sure.
In my eyes, I was like, bro, what the fuck? And I even told, so that talk I had with him, I talked to him, and Jesse was there as
Mm-hmm.
well. And I told him straight up, I was like, bro, look, if you want to drop me,
By all means.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Like, I completely understand. I fucked this up, like, and like, on my first, it's like fucking up at tryouts,
Yeah.
like, but like horribly, like
Yeah.
horribly,
Yeah.
like scoring on your own team on fucking tryouts,
For
like, you don't
real.
want to fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
And but nah, he was so chill about it, bro. Like, and to me, it was like, bro, is this guy really like this? Because I didn't know
Yeah.
him. Like, is he really like this, or is he so fucking angry inside that he wants to, like, he knows that if he takes action, it's gonna, like, it's not gonna be good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With time, I understood how he is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, bro, it's so, it's so, like, I was fortunate for
Yeah.
him being that way.
No, and he recognizes it, man. He knows. He knows the work that you do, the work that you've put in. Um, not a lot of people he can say that provide the same quality of work that you have provided for us. So, regardless of what happened, right? Like he was able to oversee that. He's like, shit happens,
Yeah,
but like, who else would have owned up the way you owned up to the situation?
yeah,
Because other people would just be like, well, no, bro, that's on you, because they know it's Whipple Chris.
yeah,
Yeah, they know he's going fast. They know he's doing all these, car stuff, car racing, and all that,
yeah,
whatever, back and then. But like, if it was anybody else, they would have been like, "Well, no, man, what were you doing? This and that." No, like, you recognize what happened. It was a bad first impression, but I mean, we moved forward. We moved forward, and here
hell
we are
yeah,
today, man. We've had such a fruitful and amazing experience,
hell yeah,
collaboration together with different colors, different things that we've done. Honestly, I don't see that ending anytime soon, to be
yeah.
honest.
Of course not.
Um, but I mean, we'll see what's next, man. We'll see what's next. He really wanted to convince me on that blue that he did, though. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, like I told you, like he really wanted to say, if you do it, I do it. And I
yeah,
remember going to your shop back then. He wanted to do that atomic teal,
yeah,
and he's like, "Let's do it, man! Like all three, like all of us." And I was just like, like, I don't know, man. Like, not that I didn't like the color, but it wasn't my personal preference. So I was kind of skeptical. But honestly, I think in the future, sometime in the future, I think me and him will probably do a color combo together that
yeah,
I think will really make an impact. That people are gonna be like, damn.
Yeah,
We'll
that
see.
color is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very safe color.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really it's a nice color. It's kind of hard to say colors are just not good,
Yeah,
But that color itself,
and it's weird
it's really
because
good.
coming from him, like that, he was back in then. He was real into those vibrant colors, those colors that just
Pop,
you
yeah,
pop and you see it, and you're like, "What is that?"
yeah,
To now seeing him transition to these more not safe, right? But it's still a safe color, but those more deeper, darker tones.
yeah.
And it's like, see, now you see where I'm coming from. And Chris is like, okay, yeah, man. Like now I see why you chose that blue. Now I see that like that orange. He loved that orange. He's like, dude, that orange is nice. But then once he saw the purple and I showed him a picture and everything, and he's seen it already, he was like, oh fuck yeah, dude. He's like, that purple is fucking nice, dude. Like
Yeah.
my blue and your purple in the night, like it's fucking aggressive. And he
Oh,
loved it.
and that purple is fitting for your car, really.
Yeah.
It really
So
is. Hell yeah, bro. So you're gonna be at Mopar Heaven,
I'm part of heaven,
right?
man. March 21st to the
What else we
23rd.
got going coming up? You gonna be out at any other
Um,
events? You're gonna be at Carfest.
Carfest, yeah.
Okay.
Looking into to getting Carfest.
You're gonna be inside or outside?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Maybe inside, but
Really?
we'll see. I don't know yet. Like I'm 50-50 on it yet because for sure Mopar Heaven I'm gonna be inside. I've booked
Yeah.
myself into trying to get inside for the competition and everything because it's gonna be indoors.
Yeah.
So I really want to get that to showcase the work. For Fuel Fest though,
No.
or for
Carfest.
Carfest, my bad. So the Carfest right now, I wanted it inside, but I think they ran out of spots.
They are. Yeah, they're sold out.
Apparently, we'll see. Let me see what I can do.
Well,
But if
honestly, I
not,
think the car would look better outside.
yes, that's why I'm like. So I was 50-50 on it. That's why I haven't jumped on it. But I even like how I told Frank. I had told him like I am not putting this car in unless I know for sure I got those wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make sure that I got a presentable car because the last thing I want is to show up to that event with those fucked up wheels in a
Yeah.
sense. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna not that it's not gonna still stand out, but it's like people are gonna the first thing they're gonna take away from that is what's up with those wheels, dude.
Yeah. It's like a
I don't
cracked windshield. It's
yeah,
like, bro, come
I
on.
don't wanna be showcasing that.
Yeah.
Carfest, yeah, happening later this at the end of the month. I am gonna go to that, but it's contingent on just getting those wheels for sure. I should be getting a response sometime this week already for sure, so I can get those in place because like we're what like 2 weeks, almost three
Yeah.
away.
2 weeks.
So I got to make sure I have everything in place. Hopefully by the end of next week, so I can basically be ready for that. And if I have to register at the end of the day, last minute, just for the outside, I'll do it because I mean at the end of the day, I mean it's still a friendly competition. It's still a friendly event.
Yeah.
And overall, it's a good thing, man. I like it. I've was fortunate enough to go last year to basically just watch. I didn't participate in it, but I walked inside, man. I saw the hundreds of cars that they had showcasing, and damn, dude, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of nice, clean cars that are garage kept here that
Oh
don't come
yeah.
out until it's that
Oh, I
time.
know. Yeah.
So when I first finally got to experience that, I was like, okay, we do actually have some nice people around
Yeah.
here
Like,
as
where the
well.
fuck has all these cars been this whole fucking
Exactly. Yeah,
time?
yeah. Like, where
Yeah.
have these guys been at?
Well, that's the thing is, I think Carfest, and not saying anything about anybody else, right? But Carfest is one of those things that how do I put this? It's a little bit more of a prestigious show because the
Yeah,
crowd it draws in,
correct.
right? And there are other shows around here. I'm not saying that they're bad, but it's even Eric himself puts it
Hmm.
out there. He says, and obviously I'm talking about RGB Show Off because
Yeah,
everyone else who's doing shows
yeah,
is kind of like new, right? There's like we had Chuck Ramirez do his show, whatever, and it's
yeah,
like, I got you, bro. You're big, but this is your first show
yeah,
compared to Eric that's been doing it for fucking years,
yeah.
and not only years, but doing multiple shows, a year, and
Like he has an understanding of what it takes to
exactly.
basically have a show.
But he puts it out there like he's made posts about it, and he says it's like the biggest tailgate party, and that's what it is. It's more of a mega meet,
Mm-hmm.
right, with awards,
Yeah,
which is pretty
it's
cool.
cool. It's different.
And I can understand why some people don't take it serious, um, because it's like a big fucking party. I'm telling you, like, every
Yeah,
time I went to one of those, I
yeah,
got fucked up. Every fucking time, it was like I already
yeah,
knew I
dude.
was getting fucked
And
up.
that's the thing. Like I've been to some of these shows here with them and everything, and it's like it's nice, but yeah, like you said, it's just a big mega party meet,
Yeah, which is
and
pretty
it's
cool.
still pretty cool.
Yeah,
But at some point, like for me, like even I was just like I'm seeing the same thing again,
yeah,
which ain't bad, but it's like I want to see something different. And Carfest is that.
yeah,
Carfest is like it's a car show,
yeah.
like a
It's
legitimate
more like
car show,
serious
serious.
and
You got those judges that are going to be looking at all these details.
yeah,
Um, Regardless of what's going on outside, they're still going to judge people outside and do all that, but they have a different vision in mind. It's not
yeah,
about having a party,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think maybe if Eric were to handle things like, obviously I'm not gonna tell him what to do. The man
mhm.
fucking has been doing it
Yeah,
successfully
no,
for
for
a few
sure.
years. But if they were to do like making it kind of like how do I put this? Kind of like the same way he's doing it, but make it like a competition along the way, and like at the end of the year, be like, okay, this is the finals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you made it,
Yeah,
fucking
like progress from the beginning of the year, like start off right
yeah,
now with your first show, and that would be pretty cool.
and like
Like
get
progressing into like
qualifiers or
yeah, like
whatever. That'd be pretty
springtime,
badass.
spring, like what he does the spring show off. Then we
Yeah.
got your summer show off. Then we got your like fall fest, kind of like
The
fall
lit
show off in the
usually
fall,
fall is lit fest.
lit
Lit
fest,
fest.
and then you got your winter time, the winter
The
one,
litmus, yeah. I think
litmus.
this past year they didn't do it. I think, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
can't recall, man.
I'm pretty sure they
I
didn't,
don't pay
but
attention lately.
I think they kind of merged that event, and they did it later on in the. If I'm not mistaken, they did it in November.
Yeah,
The lit
yeah, it
fest,
was late November.
and usually it's
It
in
was after Thanksgiving.
October. Yeah, usually it's
Yeah,
in October. So I think they kind of combine probably those two
yeah,
events. But I think that
but
would be pretty cool, kind of doing like a qualifier,
like a
like,
qualifier progressing throughout the year.
yeah,
That'd be
throughout
pretty
the
cool.
year.
That'd be
You
something
know,
different. I mean, that'd be something that he could probably try to check out.
yeah.
Because
Obviously, like I said, I'm not. That's me in my mind being outside of that.
yeah,
Obviously, yeah, shit. I deal with this shit all the time where people think they know how this, rapping works, and it's like, bro, that's
yeah,
not how it works. It sounds cool,
it's funny
but it's
because
not how
like
it works.
yeah, and it's funny enough because I remember back then when I got the blue wrap done. Remember going to one of those show off events.
Yeah,
And it was obviously they're judging and all that. And I was like, okay, cool. I might win best rap award or best charger. I don't care.
yeah,
Something. I was with the idea that okay, my color is gonna pop. It's gonna look nice at the time. I thought I was gonna get something,
you
and I
went
did.
you
I
went
did.
with that mentality.
I went with that mentality. I didn't. And when I found out later on, I was like, I genuinely asked, I was like, hey man, like, what does it take for the judging? Because like, I'm over here with this crazy ass rap, and I wasn't even like considered. And he's like, I remember him saying, "That's a rap."
Oh
They thought
yeah,
it was paint,
I
dude. And I
remember
was
that.
just like, really, bro? He's like, dude, if I had known it was a rap, I would have given you best rap. I didn't know. Like they were so
Yeah,
basically oblivious to the fact that the rap was there, and that's because I was in your lineup, wrapped
yeah,
cars,
yeah,
and somehow it
yeah.
just went over their head.
Can you imagine them passing by? It's like, why the fuck is this car here? It's painted.
Yeah, it's paint. No, dude, I was just like, whatever, man. But someday, I think I'll go one of those shows again. I think I'm
I
hoping to
think
get
that
into something, but we'll see.
that comment itself is a fucking award.
Yeah, that when
You
he
know,
said that, I was like, okay, I actually should have gotten something. It's
right?
it's
Hey,
cool. I'll take it. I'll
yeah,
take it
take it as a
as
win,
it
man.
is.
Hell yeah.
But overall, man,
Do
going
you
from
plan on going on to any of those events this year?
yeah, I was telling some of my peers, from the group that this year I kind of want to plan on going out there more this time.
Yeah.
I think I've established myself enough to go out there to some of these shows because I've had some people from out of town hit me up and whatnot. If you're in town, man, let's collab, let's do something together. And that's the thing for me. It's like, I kind of want to go out there. I kind of want to start, putting myself in some of these shows. The major big show that I'm basically that I know for sure I really want to be part of it is gonna be that Mopar Heaven. Next thing would probably be I know there's Fuel Fest later in the year
It's in
in
October, I think.
October,
Yeah.
but in the summertime I was looking into another show. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. Um, but I am gonna plan on some of at least going to one major show every season. So for spring, it's gonna be that Mopar Heaven.
Yeah.
Summer, I am gonna try to look for one major show, even if it's out of town, to participate in. October, fall time is gonna be that Fuel Fest
Yeah.
that I'm looking up in Dallas again. And then wintertime, we'll see, man. I gotta see what's out there that can happen, because at some point, like I was telling some of my friends as well, that it's nice to drive it, but lately I've been leaning more into kind of, what, I think it's time to just park it, trailer it,
Yeah.
take it out there for these shows, and kind of call it a day. Yeah, I'll drive it around in the town once I'm there, but it's been a good daily.
Yeah.
But lately I've been leaning to where I kind of want to look for another daily
Yeah.
driver,
Got you.
just to basically move around, because I mean, I just want to kind of put the car away. The car holds value on its own at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but I kind of want to just take a little break. But I mean,
No,
I
that's
still want to, but I
understandable.
still want to like showcase it. I still want to go out there and do my thing.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, like I have these friends, and I told them like, y'all need to like, you know, work on it, because I ain't trying to go out there alone either. Really, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it, but it's nice to have a group going. Like especially like back then, I'm sure you know that like when we've gone to like these those cars and coffees, Six Flags.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved it, man. When we did it last year with some of my friends in October, then in December, it's a nice thing. It's nice to
Yeah.
do that in a group, and
Oh
that's what I
shit.
want. That's what I want to do. Like
Yeah.
I want to get more of my peers to participate in stuff like that, to
Yeah.
kind of make it to where we all had a badass time, man. Honestly, and anybody can tell you, we've had such a great time. We did it again in December, twice as fun with a much bigger group,
Yeah.
even better. And that's the thing for me. It's like I want to get it to where like we have a collective group,
Yeah.
constantly going every other month. I'm not saying we have to be there every month or every other month, but at least once every season or something. It'd be nice to kind of get away. It's just a 1 day kind of thing. Go out
Yeah.
there, have some fun, get some content pictures in or whatever, and call it a day, man. Enjoy the scene.
When's Texas 2K?
Texas 2K is March, like what is it, like 13th to like the 17th. Like it's basically the week prior to Mopar Heaven.
March 13th.
So I
The week
probably will
before.
be there as well.
Yeah.
I have that plan. I just got to work around with my schedule, because technically, when I'm off on break, it's during that Texas 2K week,
Mm.
or I think it's on the week of the Mopar Heaven event. So I gotta kind of work around it to basically be able to go over there for like at least 2 days. I think that'd be decent.
Yeah.
For sure, not at the beginning, because the beginning is all just qualifiers and trying to see like more towards the end of the week. That's when you start getting the actual races happening of
Yeah.
this bracket versus this bracket and all that. That's what I want to see. I want to see once it's already like the big guys.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see, man. Texas 2K. I didn't go last year, and I've never gone. To be honest, I've never gone to Texas 2K. It's always been a big event that I've always wanted to check when it was in Houston. But then last year that they moved it to Dallas, major big event. And oh man, the horror that I've heard from many
Oh,
people
bro,
with
it was wild.
tickets left and right. It was just crazy. I know if I would
I
have
was in the
gone,
area,
I know I would have gotten a ticket ASAP because of my tent.
bro. I was in the area. I was in a town called, I think, Alvarez,
Okay, yeah.
Alvarez, and I was going back and forth between Alvarez and Venus,
Mm-hmm.
and bro, fucking cops every fucking where, and like people stopped like crazy, man. It was insane. It was insane, and that's like the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, man. I want to make it out to at least one of those two events. At least one of those two events.
Yeah.
I think Keelan Supreme,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
gonna be out there for Texas 2K. Well, he's from that area,
Yeah.
anyways. Um, the thing is, I know they have it's Texas 2K, right? And then you got the Mopar Heaven, and then the next month they moved the Chevy versus the World.
Oh yeah, in May.
Well, I think they moved
They
it
move it
to
earlier.
April.
Oh really?
Unless they moved it to here. Let me see. I'm gonna check this real quick. I think they might have, because I know they're doing one in I think Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but if they are doing the one here in Texas in May, I want to go to that one because obviously Keelan will be there by then. We'll have his
Mm-hmm.
car wrapped
Yeah.
again, and then so you saw in the group chat I put that I'm getting the final member of the fucking sponsored team
Yeah. Yeah.
locked in,
Of course.
which is Alexis Pittman. So she is supposed to be. We kind of have this agreement. I'm trying to convince her to get her car wrapped for Texas 2K because she's going to Texas 2K.
Okay.
The thing is, she has like a merch already made with the color she has on now. But I was like, fuck it, like we'll fucking just get new merch out there. Like, you
Oh,
know what
okay, I
I'm
see.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna go with merch from this car wrap that's by then has been on there for like 4 or 5 months. Like, why not just fucking go with a fucking brand new color and do the review at fucking Texas 2K, you know?
Yeah.
So hopefully that that happens. But if not, then Chevy versus the world, Keelan will be out there, Alexis will be out there, and then Jose said he might,
Yeah.
he was.
Jose was saying that
So
he's
that would be
considered
pretty
going.
badass to have 3 cars there, and that's why I was telling Chris. I was like, bro, you're gonna be out there because that would be, hey, bro, that would be.
They were pretty
Now I'm on
cool.
both sides. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, and I mean, obviously, Chris's car
It's a major
is
hitter, man.
yeah,
That's
exactly. It's something else. So
that's
it'd
a
be nice to
rocket.
fucking see it out there and see my work out there being represented by
Yeah,
all these
dude, for
cars.
sure,
It'd be
for
pretty
sure,
cool.
man. That'd be pretty cool to see, but at the same time, that'd be a pretty good experience with everybody.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
oh, that's what I was gonna get to is even so if you go out there to Mopar Heaven, I'm sure uh like so one of the things that I want to do eventually is you didn't get to experience this back in October, but bro, it was fucking badass having like that many people there that I
mhm.
fucking whose cars I wrapped. I had fucking Jose
Yeah,
going up to
when you did the
Austin.
pink
Yeah,
breast
so
cancer awareness, yeah, dude,
and it's like
that
we're
was
in
nice.
Austin, and I have somebody coming in from Dallas or from Fort Worth. I got somebody coming in from Houston,
Houston,
somebody from San Antonio, and somebody from Brownsville.
yeah.
And
So
it's like,
it was like a collection, like it
bro,
was like,
that shit was so
yeah,
fucking badass. And what I want to do is have some. I want to do something. I want to do something maybe like probably in the same area, just because it's central.
yeah,
At maybe at the middle of the year or something, rent out like a fucking cabin and something, and get everyone to come in just for like a day and network, and
hmm
because it's all of you guys are influencers, and bro, I was telling Chris, I feel like you guys are just like successful people,
yeah,
and it's very. I like that fucking vibe, man. I like being
yeah,
around people like that are hardworking, that work for what they have, and they take pride in what they have, and they take care of their things. Everyone has a thing,
for sure.
and
To me,
I want to do that. Bring everyone together so that when you go to Dallas, you have somebody there already. Obviously,
yeah,
I'm sure you already have somebody there. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But you have somebody else,
yeah,
And I think, or you go to fucking Houston area. Boom, I got 2 fucking hitters there. I got Jazz, I got Colby.
yeah,
Fucking, San Antonio area. I got Brisa's there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Alexis comes through and we end up she ends up jumping on the team. You'll have she's there as well, and yeah, so be able to go to these events and like, oh, I got somebody here like that I can fucking like
Yeah, dude. Like even
hang
even
out
like
with.
even back then, like when we did the orange wrap, and then we ended up going to December
Yeah,
to Six Flags for that Cars and Coffee,
hell yeah,
and we got together. The chick was there with the Camaro,
yeah,
so
Brisa.
Brisa, and we're like, okay, you know what, let's get together. Didn't happen, right? But I mean, the fact that they're out there, I know, and I can basically reach out to them at any point because they're there, they're established, and to me, it's more of like I want to go out there with them because at one point I do want to get some content in with them because I know that they're established, but at the same time they each have a representation of their own vehicle. Jazz,
Exactly.
especially, like props out to Jazz, man. Jazz, I know that she's a hard worker. I've heard and
That bro, that kid is fucking. I'm
yeah,
telling you, she's fucking.
I give her
She
props,
is
dude. She's a
a
go getter.
monster, man. She's a
Yeah,
monster, bro.
and
And so she has a friend, right? AJ,
mhm,
who I'm gonna have on the podcast next. And
cool.
bro, AJ, she's a same. They're friends. They're like really close
Yeah,
friends. And uh, I'm gonna be up there this week. I'm gonna be having her on, bro. She is fuck, man. I'm AJ, if you watch this, I'm sorry for chopping this, but I think she's 21.
okay.
She's 20 or 21. But anyways, she just graduated. She got her second bachelor's, I think,
Oh
if I'm
damn,
not mistaken. She got her second bachelor's. The kid fucking started working at Ferrari at 19. Bro,
damn.
there's motherfuckers that wish they saw a Ferrari in their lifetime.
Yeah,
At
working at Ferrari.
19, you're working at Ferrari. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's badass.
And
So she's fucking interesting, bro.
I'm
She's
pretty
a
sure she's got a couple stories to tell with that,
bro.
especially with that place.
Hell yeah.
Can only
So
imagine.
she's like that right there. She's very driven. So she raps as well. She's helped me. We've collabed on 2 projects already.
Hmm.
Um, I think she's a very bright kid, and I think she has a very bright future.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, just being around that, it inspires me. It
For
motivates me to
sure.
fucking keep going.
Like it's always nice to have a collective group that not only motivates you but pushes you to be better, to do better.
Yeah,
That's always something that I've taken that into account over the last couple of years, man. That it's like it's like how they say "con quien te juntas dirá," like like I don't know how the phrase is,
yeah,
but
but
like at the same time, it's like there's a reason why I'm around certain people because of the fact that like I see their motivation in them, I see their goals, and I try to help them with that as well.
yeah,
Um,
and you kind of help yourself
and I
along
help
the
myself in
way.
the end because it's like I pick up on things that I didn't see before, or
Yeah, of
pick up on
course.
certain things that I know I could have changed. Um, Regardless of like age wise, age group, like don't get me wrong, like I know I'm older, but like I hang out with some of these guys that are, still in 20, 21. And yeah, I still get like I'll get those looks where it's like, dude, but these guys are so young. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, it's these youngsters that are motivating me, changing me to do certain things that I didn't think about at the time.
Yeah, of
Because I
course.
mean, when I was their age, to me, my thing was school. I was just trying to get school done, school. Like I wasn't involved into this whole scene. Like it was something that I picked up as a hobby pretty much when I was out of school later on.
Yeah,
And the only reason why I got into it was because of another friend of mine, Albert. And he was the one that kind of pushed me into doing the whole car stuff because he was doing YouTube. He was doing his Mustang. He built his Mustang over the years, same thing.
yeah,
And he took his time. Um, so now at that point, once I got involved to this whole thing, like it was a little weird for me at first jumping into this whole scene in general because I felt like I was out of place. Like it's
yeah.
like this might not be my environment because I'm already old as hell. Like I'm moving forward.
Bro, isn't it crazy? Sorry to interrupt you real
Yeah.
quick, but isn't it crazy when you see those people though that you're out there like at the meets or at the shows and you can pick out the motherfuckers that are brand new to the scene.
Yeah.
But it's not like to make fun of them. It's kind of like
I
you
was
kind of
there.
miss that
Yeah, like it's
that first
back
impression.
then, man. I was so oblivious and blind to this whole scene that I was one of those young guys, dude. I was
Yeah,
just like, damn, like that's badass, you know.
yeah.
Like I was just admiring.
It's kind of like what Chris said with his younger brother. That his younger brother sees a car and
Yeah,
he's like,
he,
"Oh shit!" And
yeah,
to him,
and
it's kind of like, "Ah, bro,
like
it's
he knows what's up at
yeah,
that point. And the same thing with me because like I do this thing, right? And I have my younger brother. My younger brother's taller than me. He's bigger, but he it's only like a couple, like 2 3 years age difference. But to him, when he saw me transition into this whole car scene, he was like taken like away. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm doing this and this and that. And so like when he came down recently for the holidays and he sees my car, like he's like, dude, you have no idea. Like when I've gone to San Marcos to visit him as well,
yeah,
he's like, bro, you have no idea, like the amount of the kids because he works in like one of those the Gary Jobs Corp Center, one of those detention centers.
uh-huh,
So like he gets a lot of these kids that are youngsters, man, and they've seen my car, they've know who I am, and they've asked him like, hey man, how's your brother doing? Like, hey man, has he posted anything? What do you know? And my brother's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah man, isn't this your brother? Because they saw my car a while back.
yeah,
And they're like, how the hell do you know that? And I'm like, dude, like he's like, I love the car, man. That's my dream car, and this and that.
yeah.
And so when my brother would tell me these things, I was just like damn, they really is.
That
Like
shit feels
it
good,
felt good.
right?
It felt good
Hell
because I was
yeah,
like, okay, I'm inspiring some other kids, you
hell
know,
yeah.
because I was that kid at one point,
Not
you
only
know.
that, but they're from out of town.
Yeah, and it
That's a
still
really good.
happens to this day,
Yeah,
man. It's happened to where I can be driving in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and it's happened to where on the road
yeah,
or even at a stoplight or something, and I get recognized. Somebody
yeah,
takes a picture,
yeah,
they tag me,
yeah,
or they send me a message and be like, "Hey man, I saw your car, beautiful car,
yeah.
big fan," and they just show me a video. It happened one time, technically coming back from Mopar Heaven when I had the blue done.
Uh huh.
Came back home. I was driving. I was pretty much kind of like passing Corpus area, and came across this random car, man. And the car, basically, a guy sticks his head out and he's waving and he's like taking pictures. And he was like, bro, like I love the car, I love a fan. Like he was just a fan. I was just like damn, that's so weird. Just coming across somebody in the middle of the
Right.
road, you know, in the highway, and it feels good. But I was weirded out at first
Yeah, I know
because
what you mean.
I was like, okay,
You're
like
not used to that.
not used to it. But
Yeah,
now it's like I'm not surprised because like I can be around here somewhere and somehow, some way, like right now when I was going to Johnny to go get those pictures done, I got like 2 people hit me up like tagging me that they saw my car driving and they're like,
yeah,
"Hey man, like I love it." And I was just like,
yeah. Well, at this point, you shouldn't
"Cool."
be surprised.
I'm not
You know.
surprised, but it's like it's expected,
Yeah,
and it's like okay, like thanks. Like I don't
yeah.
know, I don't know what to say
No. Of
anymore.
course. I mean,
It,
it's no one tells you how to react to that because it's. I call it being a local celebrity. You know, and what I mean by that is there's enough people outside of your circle that know you.
Mhm.
You know, and I feel like once you get up there to like and I'm gonna put a low number on it, you know, like once if you have an account, right, and there's more than 1,000 people that follow you,
Locally,
like
yeah,
that don't know you,
yeah,
then that's it. Like
yeah.
you're kind of like reaching them. Then obviously you keep going more further. You keep going, then obviously the more the bigger status
Mhm.
you have. But yeah, you get to that point, and bro, that I know that feeling that you're talking about. Um, Early on in my career, I fucking had a friend that was living up in Dallas,
Mhm.
and she was at the airport. If I remember correctly, she was at the airport.
Okay.
I think she was at a bar or something like that, and she was talking to some dude, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I have a friend that fucking does this, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." Like she showed him my Instagram. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know him from Dallas." Like I was like, "Oh shit." That feeling was like, "Oh bro,
Yeah.
like somebody from up there is looking at at my
Messed up.
content,
Yeah, messed up.
that's pretty cool. And I never did my content to get popular.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and that's kind of like the way that I'm treating this is like now. Obviously, there was some point where I obviously I need to have an impact,
Yeah,
right, to be able to bring business in.
of course.
I did try to drive it that way, but locally.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected it to get
To get
out
out there,
there.
yeah.
So, um, man, I've had people from Dallas area tell me like, "Oh yeah, like people know you up here," and it's like, "Oh shit." I mean, I haven't done that many cars. I've done a few cars up there, but not
Mm-hmm.
that many. For
But it's the fact that they know, like they know who, they know that at one point you've established yourself enough to know that there's customers out there
yeah,
that can reach out to you at any point.
yeah, bro. That's
And
that's pretty. It's a
it's
really
cool.
good
Yo,
feeling. It's
yeah,
a really
dude.
good
It
feeling being
is a good
recognized
feeling.
outside, especially I think because I mean I'm sure you could probably agree with this. A lot of times you don't get that recognition within your circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like a lot of times you don't
yeah.
get that recognition. Obviously, if you're like in the car scene, that's different. But I mean, like direct family members or like friends that are not in the car scene, like
For
they
real.
don't really recognize that
Oh, big
what
time.
is that is a success to you. You know,
Big
to
time.
you, putting that carbon fiber hood on there is not just to make it look better, but I'm sure that it makes you feel good. Like I fucking worked for that shit.
Hmm.
Like my
A
car
lot.
looks as good as it looks because I fucking every single hour counted. And I think
Yeah.
once you start seeing
To me,
money as time or time as money or exchange that for
hmm,
another, instead of saying that's $1,700, and saying, oh, that's fucking 100 hours of work,
yeah,
that changes your perspective completely
big
as
time.
far as like makes you appreciate things a lot more.
For sure. No, and that's the thing. It's like I guess to like, not trying to open up a can of worms, right? But
Oh shit,
a
here we
lot of
go.
a lot of a lot of the thing that I would get at one point was from not only friends but from other people. It's like so what's next? Like what's like why don't you go get a Hellcat or go get another car? Doesn't mean I can't. I can.
Yeah.
But it's like why would I want to go get another car that obviously is going to be much faster than what I have, much
Yeah.
better. But it's like I'm basically starting from zero, and it's like, and it's nothing wrong with it, but it's like I worked for it, but it's like now what?
Yeah.
When I've had this car already for years, I've seen my work, I've seen the time that I've put into it in the long run,
Yeah.
and having this car now, going into 5 years with it, seeing it from when I first got it to now, it's a representation of myself in a sense over time. Like as
Yeah.
I've changed, as I've grown, as I've become a whole different person than I am. I'm a totally different person 5 years ago from what I am now.
Yeah.
Big time.
Bro, that's crazy. I
And
I like that. I like the way you put that because if you think about it, people who don't really like, obviously in the car scene, right?
mhm,
And this was one thing that I told Chris, like, bro, when you were young, you fucking bought that car and you fucking said you were gonna do it, and then you did what you
mhm,
said you were gonna do. And not everyone has that fucking mentality.
yeah,
And the fact that you say that, like, it's a direct representation of where you are at in life
mhm,
and where you've come to,
yeah,
being to that normal, scat pack to, bro, like I said, once again, that thing can be on the cover of a magazine, and like you've evolved as a person,
yeah. It's
um
it's.
doing that.
I've changed, man, and just being involved in the car scene, like how Chris said, like sometimes you gotta just take it for what it is, and honestly, like ignore other people's opinions. You gotta do your own thing. And I think for me, at one point, at first, it was very tough for me to get out of that headspace because I would take a lot of people's opinions or considerations into mind.
Yeah.
because I was brand new to this thing, so
That could
I
be
didn't know
so
better.
damaging.
But it was damaging to an extent because it was like oh, maybe I'm not really that cool, or not cool, but like I'm not that guy, or I'm like I ain't shit. And
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily meant that. It's just that in my head it was like I didn't have the group of friends that I had before to where they could support me into doing this kind of hobby.
Yeah.
I had maybe one or two. It wasn't until I met Chris and I started seeing the impact that he's had over the years that it was like, okay, you know what? Maybe there is something here. Maybe there's something that I can do. And even he told me like, because he told me at one point where I kind of hit like a wall on my car, and he was like, "What's next, man?" He's like, "Wow, when we went to go pick up his Mustang that he has now in Dallas, it was me, him, and Johnny, and he was like, "Hey, man, if only you had the Hellcat, we could have been cruising right now through downtown. Hellcat, wine, all that. Sounds nice. It was great." I was like, "Yeah, maybe someday." And then I remember him messaging me when I bagged my car. Bagged the car, totally different. Completely changed the look of my car, the game,
Hell
right?
yeah, bro.
Um, I remember just him messaging me. He was like, bro, is that bitch bagged? I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, major game changer. He's like, car looks totally different now. He's
Hell
like, I
yeah.
fucking love it, dude. That's exactly what you needed. And I was like, what about the Hellcat? And he was like, nah, dude. He's like, fuck
Fuck the
that. That
Hellcat.
looks good.
Hell
I was just
yeah.
like, yeah. And that's the thing, man. Over time, like as I started putting more into the car and doing all these things, you know, it's always I've always wanted to keep a vision ahead because it's like it never ends. I
Yeah.
want to do more. I think for me, just to put it out there, I think the next major thing for me is probably going to be that wide body kit, but not just any regular wide body kit.
Okay.
I'm going with an actual legitimate aftermarket badass fucking wide body kit.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
And that's the way to go because I mean, I could just go get a wide body kit car right now or wide body car. I go get a wide body scat and that's called it a day. No, dude,
Not saying that those are
they're
bad.
not
Those are
bad.
nice.
They're
They're
nice.
nice. But
But
if
if
you're going to add to what you have, you're gonna spend money.
yeah,
Might as well fucking make it something different
yeah,
than making it
I'm
look stock.
to me, and this is something that I've told a couple of people that it's like when I first got involved in the scene, it was like I want to have a nice car. That was my goal. That was my vision. Have I reached that? Yeah, to some extent.
Oh hell
But over
yeah.
time, that changed. Now, it's not just about having a nice car. I told myself, if they hear who I am, they know, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do later on,
Yeah.
where I want to claim that I have the best, if not the cleanest, charger
Oh shit.
here,
Damn.
here locally. And I will do that. At one point,
Who's out there? Who's out there?
I don't know, man. There's a couple.
Who's out there?
There's a couple chargers around here that I've known, and it's not necessarily just Hellcats or it's a mixture.
No, just straight
I'm saying
charger.
chargers straight up.
Charger.
Doesn't matter if it's a
I think.
Hellcat, if it's
Well, you know what? I think you're kind of shooting low, bro. Because I think you can just go Mopar all the way.
it does deviate into that.
Straight up though,
But
who has a car that's up in your caliber? I mean, you have to know. I'm sure you have. You know, say it.
there's a few. There's a few
Like,
Mopars out there that I can honestly say, you know what, these are fucking clean.
okay, let me ask you this. And we're talking about show and looks, not about speed or none of that shit.
Definitely.
Okay, who has a bagged fucking Charger here in the valley?
There's a few, man. I don't know their names. There's like
Uh-huh.
one or two that I can think of off the top of my head that they're from Brownsville. They're from like that lower valley area.
Uh-huh.
I don't know their names, but I know like one of them, for example, was this guy that had, I think you know who I'm talking about, that had that wrap with like a lightning yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like to when I saw that car originally, I was like, that's fucking badass. Like that to me was like that's different. Like that was up there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
No.
That was one.
That car's bagged?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was. I might be wrong.
Is it still even wrapped?
I have no idea. I haven't seen that
I
car in
haven't
a
seen
minute.
that car
It's been
around.
a minute. That's what I'm saying. Like when
I haven't seen that car, and like to be straight up honest, like I was impressed by the rep. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It was
like, and I'm not afraid to say
Yeah.
it. I'm not afraid to say it. Like
And
I
that-
wasn't impressed. I thought it was different, yes,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I think it could have been better, in my opinion. And I would put it amongst, and I'm not to talk shit because I don't even know the person,
Yeah.
right? But this is what I'm trying to get to. Like to put that car, I'm asking you for who you think is actual competition, for you, because there's only there's only one Charger I can think of. Actually, no, two. Sorry, two. There's two Chargers that I can think of that are up there. One of them is Thunderscat.
Oh yeah.
That's one. Like
Yeah.
I think that, and it's not because I rapped it,
No,
but
of course.
that
It's
guy
different. It's
takes
custom.
care of his fucking
No, for
shit.
sure. No, yeah. So
and
he was actually another one that I can tell you off the top of my head.
because imagine that car bagged.
Yeah. Different. Completely changed the game.
Like I'm not saying that it's bad now. It's a really good eye-catching car.
When I first saw that coming out, like I was like, that's totally different. That's so nice. And it's nice because he's kept it clean. I know the guy. He takes real good care of his car.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it to where even at one point in Mopar Heaven, a couple of years back, I think they sort of like hit his car by accident. And bro, he was like all over the place. He was fed up. But I mean, I get it because I mean, he takes so much care of it.
He takes so much care of that car.
I remember seeing him back then. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I know that when I've seen his car out there, I'm like, oh yeah, like that. I know who that guy is. I've seen him go to some shows.
Yeah,
he's been around here and real good guy, a real humble guy at the end of the day.
He's a real cool dude. Yeah,
he's real cool. But to me, it was like when I saw those, like that custom wrap, that Thunder, that Lightning, it was like very different. I was like, nobody has that, and that's the thing. That's I guess to me, I guess that's one of the goals in the sense that I want to stand out. Doesn't necessarily now. I'm not trying to say like I'm gonna be the best or I'm gonna be the best hands down here locally.
No, that's what you said.
I mean, yeah, but
no, well,
I am. I'm gonna own up to it. Honestly, I am, and I will. I honestly say that I will get to that at one point. Yeah, just not right now.
Well, yeah, but, I mean that's your goal.
That's my end goal.
But I mean, you said that, and there's nothing wrong with you having that in mind, especially because that's bro. Who doesn't want to think that about their vehicle, right? Like, and I'm sure that some people might be like, "Oh man, he's talking." Like, I'm not talking shit about nobody. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not one to do that at all. But what I'm saying is, let's be honest. Like there's very few cars, Chargers, that are up to that point. And like I said, the only ones that I can think of is that one, and the other one would be, and the other one doesn't even exist anymore, which was a Mopar Goat. Yeah. That camo was fucking, bro.
It was different. It was new.
Very fucking different. It was like a trendsetter. It was like when what's his name? Fucking what's his I forgot his name. The half wrap fucking Challenger, the black and white
Junior.
When Junior did that, bro,
different,
yeah, way different, yeah. And then after that, you start seeing fucking half wraps everywhere. But that